Accordance Mobile 3.0 for iOS. This podcast is at the basic level. It requires no knowledge of Accordance Bible software, Hebrew, or Greek. We are very pleased to announce a major update in Accordance Mobile for iOS, version 3.0. It includes a new look and feel, a new library organization, better highlights, and much, much more. This is important to many of our customers since they can take their iPads and iPhones anywhere and study the Bible while they're doing whatever they want. The latest release of Accordance Mobile for iOS has something for everyone. Improved library organization, external keyboard shortcuts, better highlights, search enhancements, and a whole host of miscellaneous improvements. The improvements begin with a new logo for the app and a brand new opening screen. Launching the app immediately reveals more improvements. Here's a quick look at the app in Reading View, and after a quick tap, Reading View with the interface revealed. Now, there are so many other refinements in this rev, we won't be able to cover them all. Let's see how many we can cover, beginning with the library. Improved library organization. The new library uses new icons and category folders that match Accordance Desktop. At the top are the recently opened resources, which now include recently downloaded items. Notice the taller rows and larger resource covers. Both assist users that have smaller screens or older eyes. At the bottom is a large button inviting us to download more resources, which should help people new to the app. In between the two are various categories: texts, tools, daily reading, and a variety of user content. A tap on text opens the folder, as does a tap on tools, which now shows the same category folders as Accordance Desktop. All of our tools are now organized into their proper category folders. As always, the categories and folders we will see vary depending on the resources we have. This improved organization is a huge help to those of us with a lot of resources. This rev also now supports custom subfolders and folder icons. Here's how to add a subfolder. First, tap the Actions button. It allows us to add a folder, add a divider, or alphabetize the resources. These actions are available across the library, including in the Bookmarks category. We'll click Add Folder. Now we need to name the folder. I'll call this one Greek Bibles and click Add. Here's my new subfolder. Now let's change its icon to a custom one. First, we click the gear button next to the folder, then tap Change Folder Icon. Accordance Mobile provides us with a list of custom icons. We'll pick the one at the bottom of this page, and presto, our folder has a new icon. Our subfolder is still empty, so now it's time to move some resources into it. First, we tap the Edit button. At this point, we can see the size of each of our resources, which may help us decide whether or not to keep them on our mobile device. We can select and delete them. We can also drag and rearrange them. Selecting one or more activates two additional items in the bottom menu: Move and Delete. Delete is self-explanatory, so let's select Move. Accordance Mobile shows us the folder hierarchy, so we can just tap the folder into which we want to move our selected resources. The text folder in the library now looks like this. Tapping the Greek Bible subfolder would now show it contains all three Greek texts. Now all of this is a lot of work. Use Accordance Desktop and don't feel like recreating your library organization all over? Accordance Mobile 3.0 for iOS now supports folder syncing via Wi-Fi with the Accordance Desktop 12.3.3 and above. Switching resources for the parallel pane reveals the new library organization is reflected here too. Just tap the title of the parallel pane. The text button reveals the new Greek Bible subfolder we created earlier. Tap the Tools button and we'll see all our reference tools in the respective library category folders. External keyboard shortcuts. Rejoice, power users! Accordance Mobile 3.0 now supports keyboard shortcuts from an external keyboard. If we're using an iPad, all we have to do to discover them is press and hold the Command key. Accordance will display a list of keyboard shortcuts available for that particular pane. The same keyboard commands will work on an iPhone, but Apple has chosen not to make the list of shortcuts available. This makes some sense, as I'm guessing there are far more people using keyboards with iPads than with iPhone. For those of you without iPads, here's a sample of the keyboard shortcuts, the ones available in Reading View. Each screen or view has its own set of keyboard shortcuts. For a complete list, go to Accordance Help for iOS. We can access help in our iOS devices by tapping the Library button, then the Help button. Better highlights. Mobile 3.0 also now supports better highlights. No matter which of these buttons we use to access our highlight files, the new organization is immediately apparent. Recently used highlights are at the top, whether we're viewing styles or symbols. Likewise, we can clear the recent resources from either screen. The Styles pane also features a new button, Edit. Let's examine it further. Edit allows us to edit current highlight styles and add new ones. Here's how. Tap Edit to open the Edit Highlight Styles pane. Once there, we can tap any of the current styles to edit it, or the plus sign to add a new style. Both use the same Edit Style pane. Tap Edit to delete styles or rearrange them. Notice that the plus sign for adding a highlight style is repeated on this screen. The Edit page also allows us to choose a custom color. We just tap Color. Scroll to the bottom of the choices, then tap Choose Custom Color. We can then use the color wheel and slider to select the color we want. We can now create custom colors for highlights, text fonts, and backgrounds. We can use as many custom colors as we want in as many different places as we want, but we can't name and save our custom colors for later use. Search enhancements. Accordance Mobile now auto-selects search words under the right conditions. Here's how it works. The pane on the left shows the results for a search for neighbor in the ESV. If we tap the search button again, the results of the previous search are already selected. We could just start typing the new search criteria, which will now automatically replace the old search term. This saves us a step and a bit of frustration. Here's another example. Type God, then add the within command. Accordance Mobile now automatically selects the question mark, so we can just type a number in it. Here's one more instance. If we want to search for a verb in a tagged original language text, we tap the tags and select verb. Once again, the question mark is selected, allowing us to delete it if we want to search for any verb or add modifiers to limit the search. There's one other kind of search where this feature can save us a step. If we search for a word that is not present in the text, as I've searched for Porsche here, Accordance Mobile alerts us to that fact. That behavior has been present for a while. What is new is that when we dismiss the alert, the next screen already has the word selected, so we can replace it with a different word. This feature appears whenever a search fails. Settings gives us access to a wide range of preferences and customizations. It's also where we set our search ranges and add custom ranges. The settings we want are all in the text search views. Let's focus on the range settings. I recommend setting it to all text, as that will work with every text. Now, if we want to edit our ranges or add a new range, we click the Edit button. Since our interest is in adding a range, we'll click the plus button, which opens the Edit Search Range pane. Fill in the information for our new range, click Save, and we're done. We can also customize search ranges from Search View. Tap the magnifying glass to move from Reading View to Search View. Now tap More to reveal more search choices, commands, tags, and search options. Range is a search option, so we'll tap Options. This is the same pane we saw earlier, and here is where we can change or add the search range. Miscellaneous improvements. iOS devices include a system setting called Auto Lock. It automatically turns the device off after a specified amount of inactivity. Accordance can now disable Auto Lock if it's in a reading view, text, tool, devotional, or so on. The switch for the feature is in Accordance settings. The default is on for iPads and off for iPhones. We can change the setting if we prefer. Next, we can now switch tools and user notes just as easily as we can text, and using the same method. The feature only works when the resource is in the main pane, not the parallel pane, and in reading view, not search view. Let's look at switching a tool. Tap the screen to show the user interface, then tap the resource title. This new tool pane appears. At the top are the resources that are most similar, those from the same folder. Below them are all the tool category folders, in case we want to choose a different kind of resource. This upgrade incorporates bookmark links into both texts and tools. The bookmarks are just to those places in each specific text or tool. Tap the verse chooser in a text, and the link to all the bookmarks are at the top right of the pane. Similarly, tap the table of contents for a tool, and again, the link to all its bookmarks are at the top right of the pane. As long as we're looking at bookmarks, those in Accordance Desktop and Accordance Mobile 3.0 are now compatible. Upgrading to Accordance Mobile 3.0 and syncing via Dropbox will automatically convert all iOS bookmarks. These converted bookmarks will not then be recognized by earlier versions of Accordance Mobile. Searching a tool's table of contents is also now improved. We'll tap the table of contents, then let's type RIGH in the search entry box. Accordance searches all the article titles, then finds and displays 3 with those letters. And the letters don't have to be at the beginning of the title or even the beginning of a word. We can then select one of the articles, like this one on righteousness. Easy Install and Updates both have a number of changes. Here are a few of them. First, Download All now toggles, that is, selects and deselects all displayed resources. Second, one can find resources by using the scroll bar or by searching for a word. Note that the download button still remains dimmed even after the search until we select a resource. Once we do, we can tap the download button and start the download. The download window shows the number of resources being downloaded and the progress of each. We have improved Accordance Mobile's navigation buttons significantly, specifically the previous and next buttons that allow us to return to other locations. A new search used to clear them entirely, but no longer. They will now continue to work with one important exception. The locations to which they point must be included in the displayed text. Here's how they now work. They are dimmed in this start screen because this is a brand new session. If we use the verse chooser to go to Psalm 23, the previous button appears. Clicking it would send us back to Genesis 1:1. If instead we decide to search for water, the previous and next buttons dim. That's because neither Genesis 1:1 nor Psalm 23:1 include the word water, so those verses aren't in the displayed text. Never fear, Accordance still remembers them. All we have to do is to switch to Reading View, which displays all text, and the previous button reappears. Clicking it would return us to Psalm 23:1. If we do so, we'll see both the back and previous buttons. The former will take us back to Genesis 1:1, while the latter will move us to Job 3:24. Here are even more improvements. A new text display setting is available that omits verse references. iPad popovers now better size themselves to match their contents. Additional improvements to easy install and updates. Multiple improvements to the text verse chooser and the tool table of contents. They are also now more similar to each other. And finally, see Accordance Mobile help for a complete list. The latest Accordance Mobile app is now available in Apple's App Store. Enjoy its many new features and improvements. This has been Dr. J for Accordance Bible Software. Thank you for watching this episode of Lighting the Lamp.